Hello to this YouTube video on fire pumps and how to buy them. This is the lower Blue Mountain area. My house is surrounded by bushland, but the recent fires in Springwood prompted me to consider purchasing some sort of fire control system. Notice the bushland over here, National Forest. There's never been a major fire along here, but with climate change, we don't know, I thought it'd be prudent to get some sort of home protection system. In the news I saw many houses burnt down with pools, and I thought it'd be probably remiss of me not to spend a bit of money to ensure my home safety. Several problems occurred when purchasing the pump, and I decided to make this video to perhaps help other people, because there was very little on YouTube about how to buy a pump. Now, this pump is a 7 horsepower model which I purchased from eBay. Now, my first mistake was to purchase something called a transfer pump. It was advertised as a firefighting pump, but a transfer pump is not suitable. A transfer pump is used to move water from, let's say, one dam to another dam, high volumes of water and low pressure. So I purchased the pump, it was delivered, I could get no hose fittings for it, and there was a bit of a hassle to return it and get a proper pump. So if you're buying from eBay, be very careful that you purchase a pump which is a proper fire pump, and they will have these ports like so. You can see the different hose diameters can be fitted like so. A transfer pump tends to have only one intake hole and one external out port. This particular pump cost me $300 delivered, and I think that's very good value. It came with no hoses, so I paid an additional $100 for a 20-meter hose and an input hose. Now, intake hose is required to be thrown into the pool or water source. The water will be sucked in through there and expelled through here. Now, I've seen pump sets for sale for upwards of $1,000 in the local area, which would come with a hose and a pump. Now, this was $300, $100 for the 2 hose sets. Now, the pump will come with various fittings like so. They're different sizes, from 2 inch all the way down to like 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch. Second problem I encountered was the hose. Standard hoses would not fit on the pump. Very frustrating. You can see even with these fittings, this is a screw fitting and these are not. I guess they came with ring clamps, and these ring clamps could perhaps be used to fit on a cloth hose that would fit right on the end of this fitting, and you would sort of like clamp it. But my hoses aren't like that, and most of the hose sets you purchase aren't. So I had to purchase these adapters, which would reduce the 2mm, the 2 inch setting for the input, like so. This is what annoyed me on the internet. No one explained any of this on the video, so hopefully this will be helpful for you. Alright, there we go, that's one. And that will now allow me to screw this section on. Pause. So this reducer will allow the intake hose to be fitted, and I have this fitting on this side, which will allow my hose kit to fit on. So those cost me $10 each, or at least $20 for two. Now with pump operations, you would make sure the external other ports are capped so you won't lose pressure. So I presume, having not much experience with pumps, I could get another fitting here and have multiple hoses. It's quite a powerful pump. Alright, so not bad for $440. Remember what I said, some shop stores are selling smaller pumps for about $1,000, and they're not Honda branded. This is a Chinese pump. I don't know the quality, but I will only intend to use it in emergencies, so it's not much of an issue in terms of operating hours. Recording? Okay, so here's the pump. It's fresh out of the box. Nice little tag here which warns us that there's no oil in the unit. So let's put some oil in. Now, this will be a transfer pump thing. I bought for a couple of dollars at the $2 store. It's going to become very useful because there's no easy way to get that oil in. So let's try and get basically the rest of the bottle in. That's nice. I'm quite pleased with that. Normally I try to pour it from the side and make a big mess. So a little bit of preparation will cause you a lot less headaches, that's for sure. So pumping in the oil. I hope I have enough. It's sort of like what's left over from my... that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll take it out. Get the rest of it in. Okay. I recommend 1/4 litre. That's around about 1/4 litre. Okay. So look in there. And let's see what the dipstick says. See if it's happy. Yep, quite good. Good enough for our first test operation. Now this pump model has 2 ports, one on the other side identical. So let's see the reason why. It looks like the same. Yep. Just for easy access perhaps. Let's screw that in. Fuel next. Now what we want to do is, I guess, a bit of oil in the fuel won't really matter. Use the same pump, put a little bit of fuel into my pump. What I'll do is I'll give it a little bit of a squeeze and just enough fuel for my test. Now this pump will, I guess, will only be run once a year or so as a test during fire season. So I guess I have to worry about stale fuel issues. But in this case, we'll get it going. And hopefully that will be enough. Alright. Let's get rid of this. And recap it. Let's put all our consumables away. Alright. Cap our motor. And what we'll do is we'll move it down to the pool, and we'll get my daughter Harper and Presley to control the hose. Thank you. Here we are back. I've moved the pump to the pool. This is the intake hose. It's essential sure that it's a rigid pipe. This is a filter section. If you're sucking water out of like a dirty dam, you don't want stones and weeds getting through, so that's intended to filter it out. Now this is rigid, so when the pump starts sucking, it won't collapse the hose like a straw that you suck too hard. Alright, so we'll toss that into here. Alright, now, seems alright. Probably only good for a swimming pool, as it seems long, but it's not really that long. Here is the 20-metre hose. It's quite long, doesn't it? It's long enough. Let's see how it goes. Now, this particular pump needs to be primed. You've got to pre-pour water in here, right here. Otherwise, I guess it's bad for it. The instruction book, which is a Chinese instruction book, is not very clear or very detailed in the starting procedures, other than pouring water into there. Stop. Alright, just putting some water in the pump so it doesn't burn out initially. So those impellers have something to start pushing. Now, there was no specs on this, no detailed specs. I'd be interested if it's just a copy of a Honda or whatnot. If it's a copy of a Honda, it would have 2 impellers, I would imagine. But for $300 delivered, we really can't complain a lot about what we get. A bit of water in there, required. Fill it up. I can see that, it's only around about half full. Let's go a bit serious. Oh. Oh. Getting my pump all wet. There it goes, I can see it popping up. Hope that didn't cause any issues. Now, screw on the top. And let's try to start her up. Now there's a choke here, somewhere. Now there's an on switch, I'll switch that on. Now, let's see where the, choke. Yeah. Alright, let's start her up. And there seems to be choke there. Alright, good. Give it a couple of pumps perhaps. Alright, now let's get one daughter on this end of the hose. Pause up. So we'll choke it on, and what we'll do is see how it fires up.